welcome to our Achilles stream. We're going to be going live shortly for a League versus League race between WRL, which is I'm not sure what a DT part stands for. So cars and each team should be using the same line they're part of. Recognise the people from my own league, but I do see some names I recognise in the other league as well. One of them, fantastic. As well, I must admit, I've seen his name on the leaderboard many times. As we can see by the settings there, it's in 6 laps in Silverstone, which is, in my opinion, one of the great Formula 1 tracks of all time. So you don't have to be British to think high speed corners. High speed straights, good at taking position, places, all sorts. Should be a good race. Just got so 2 full teams. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have 16, so it should be 2 teams of 8. So that is right. Just had a quick message asking if I can as well on the race. Unfortunately, it's just but I'd definitely love to do it in the future. Just a shame thing my end. But yeah, no doubt in future we'll jump on to that if it's possible. Hoping if possible, it's within the league as the guys are ready to go into qualifying. Should be, as said. Both teams have got some very fast guys driving for them, so I'm not expecting it to be like a race. I do know that open, yes, so I've seen his name very high up on the time trial leaderboards, but you can only drive what's in front of you. Get something up, so just waiting for it to load in. Go back to this great circuit. The lights of Luffield Corner and famous Cops, Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel Curve, and then down to Stowe, and then going to be some great racing going on. As we do have somebody coming out, the driver is literally just out in front. I think it was right, somebody I don't know, but we'll see how they get up. We'll get some details up while we're completing out. We want to set the tyres up, it's always interesting to fire on. Ruston, I'd say, is probably a soft to medium. Most drivers don't gamble on a soft strategy, depending on the timing or a soft to medium to hard, depending on if there's a safety car at a particular time. So we got a filming lead there, so let's give it a gang. Hot my phone off of Wi-Fi, so that's still a D connection. Let's get the details up. So So here we go, Jones Gang 7 on their first hot lap. Nothing to sort of compare it to at the moment, but let's see if we can manage. So, looked like a little bit of a toe on that part of that small straight. First sector time is in the 29s, which is fairly decent. I'm running into cops now on the exit. All nice, no invalidation so far. All looks pretty tidy. Nice activation, and so let's say a decent tidy lap so far from Jones Gang. As Ventus sets the fastest time for the moment, so starts off with 27.9. Assuming that's a banker lap, which is a reasonable banker lap time, no doubt about that. But Jones Gang crosses the line on a 27.0. Both first drivers opting to go on a set of softs. Ghost Rider was one of the first out, and he's on a set of mediums, just about to cross the line, and he crossed the line on a 29.2. There's somebody else just behind. Starting their lap, so that was T-Reds. It's the captain of the team. Hey Boo Dylan, I'll see you, buddy. Thanks for joining the stream. There's a few of you out there at the moment, I can see. Please, by all means, say hi if you can. Actually, if you're on track racing, don't. Stick with T-Reds for the moment. He's on a set of softs and see what sort of time. He was in the 29s at the end of sector 1, which was, as we saw with Jones Gang, was a reasonable first sector time. Oh, that's going to invalidate, unfortunately, on the exit of cops. So, still good to get a feel for the track. As we ride on board now with Touch Me Pope. I can't believe I'm going to have to say that name throughout the race. It's a great name though. So, guns and into the final sort of stadium part of Silverstone. Right, so cross the line and goes P1 on a 26.4, which is a seriously fast lap, especially on a first run. That's pretty impressive. Winter Place going into the pits. Have not managed to set a time. We may see Reds do the same. I don't know if Reds, yeah, he's continued actually, so it looks like he spent the rest of the... He invalidated at cops last time, so it looks like he spent the rest of the lap doing a cool down. 27.6 in the sector 1, which is decent. It's an interesting kind of track where people can really set up differently. There is no right or wrong really on the setup around Silverstone. You can go with a higher downforce and be faster through the turns. You can manage just as well really with a lower downforce and be faster on the straights. It's not a one or the other sort of track. There are options. In the 3.7, that does suggest rests on a decent time. Don't think he's going to trouble Touch Me Pope, but he's in line, going pretty high up. Comes through over the line and goes, well, P8, 27.7, so see Touch Me Pope is way out in front at the moment, 6 tenths faster than the next quickest, but then from second through to 10th are all covered, well actually no, through to 11th are all covered by a second. And there's plenty of people yet to set a time, as what's that name? Japella 02 goes second quickest on an even more impressive lap than Touch Me Pope, as he goes 26.6 on a set of mediums that are 3 laps old. That's rapid. Wow. Okay. So, who have we got now? So we're on board with Christo now. Just coming through to complete the lap. It's a 28.7, which puts him P13 for the moment. Just seeing, just want to, no, Japella's clearly not doing another lap. Just double checking, but I should imagine 3 laps on a set of mediums. You're not going to want to push them any more than that if that's the Atari you intend on starting on. Yeah, so into the pits comes Japella. 27.1 from Tutlebur. Tutlebur or Tuttlebur, 111. So the viewers just creeping up slightly. So thank you everyone for coming in, tuning in. Please pop something in chat and say hello. Appreciate all of you joining. Just going to move to... Actually, no, let's go back to Tutlebur. I'm almost certainly saying his name wrong, I think. But he's a 10th and a half up. At the moment, that 10th and a half would take him just into the 26s. And would gain him a couple of places as it stands up to P3. Just caught up to the back of a slower car. It didn't look like the car got in the way. It did lose a little bit of time though, but it's still gone P3, so he's not lost any places due to that. So they didn't really get in the way. In a way, there was plenty of space in between. As Sam 29M goes fastest with a 26.297. We really are getting some serious lap times put in now. So that's 3 drivers have beaten my time trial time around here, and one of them did it on a set of mediums. Might cry after this. Hi, Grandad Bots. Yeah, there is, buddy, isn't there? Wasn't aware there were all this quick bait, but some great laps, definitely. Just riding on board with ET the Gamer to see if he's going to go another lap. He's the first from Wheelspin Racing to go into the 26s. In fact, an identical time to Jones Gang. Well, both on 1:26.864. He's not gone for another lap. He's 2.5 seconds down, so deciding to stay as is. Strict Mindset gets a proper time in this time and goes P7 on a 27.1. Going on board now with Panju. Again, may not be doing another lap. Usually the ERS is a little bit of a giveaway. Does seem to be burning it, and he is a 10th up actually, so we'll remain with Panju. Yeah, look at that, mate. All the top 5 all in the 26s, and I have to say 26.297 is one of the faster times I've seen in a qualifying session around here. It's not the fastest, but it's up there. And can you believe that Japella in P3, 26.6. That was on mediums. It's ridiculous. Andrew, he's on down. He's definitely still burning his ERS, so and he continues past the pits. He was going a bit quicker. He's got to find just over a couple of attempts to jump ahead of the next driver. And he goes into the 26s on a 26.949 and goes P6. So a great lap from Panju. So 6 drivers now in the 26s. We got out Ventos. No, he's 1.8 down. So at the moment, Ella has moved to softs, so the time is set. The 26.654 was on a set of mediums. I don't think there's a massive time difference between the soft and the mediums, but it's enough that he would be pushing to possibly go into the 25s here. If he can nail the lap just as well. Just over a tenth and a half up already in the first sector. To actually take the pole, he needs basically 4 attempts, just under 4 attempts. Oh, he's had a spin at Cops. It's not going to be pole position on this lap. Should be able to cool it all down and go again. He may even have time to come in and stick another set on and get back out again. He'd have to judge that himself if he's got enough or not. Panju definitely not on a lap. Silver Eagle. No, he's 4 seconds down. So he's backed. Oh, he's invalidated his lap, so he's backed out and will recharge the battery. Ghost Rider 7 attempts up. Oh, that was a completed lap, so that's put him into P13. Into place then at the moment. Let's see how he's getting on sector 1. 27.4, so a decent first sector. So at this stage of qualifying, I'm sure he's more interested now in getting the laps put together. Now currently leading the championship in wheel spin racing. He's winter place. So yellows in sector 2. I think that was somebody had a little spin, but they've recovered already, so no blockages. Let's just watch Winter place over the line. His laps looked all pretty tidy, so I think he's going to move himself up the table. I'm going to predict to about P12, maybe a bit higher. P9, so yeah, much better from Winter place. Let's just go back to Chapella. So Chapella did get back to the pits and he's on an out lap and there's plenty of time to get round. So we are going to see another attempt. Let's see if we can go pole. Touch Me Pope at some point did go a bit faster to 26.398. But it's still P2 as Reds is off and into the barrier. At Cops. It's always Cops, isn't it? It's always Cops. So another car coming round. I don't think it's somebody on a hot lap in a way, so it was okay. Let's then move on to Drip, who's just finished sector 1 and was just 100th of a second down, so plenty of scope for improvement still. Oh, somebody was off track there. That was another somebody else through Cops as well. It's a nightmare. It's a few of, oh, that's an invalidation from Drip Mindset. So let's try. That's another hot lap. Let's go to Jones Gang, just coming up to the end of sector 2, so let's see where he is. That's no, that's not, that's clearly not quite that there. So the Burr. Moment. I think let's go to Chapella, who finishes the first sector once more and is almost 2 temps up. He's actually quicker than he was last time in the first sector. Let's take a look at sector 2. If he can keep improving, he needs another 2 temps. He needs to take another 2 temps using these softs. In order to actually take the pole position. So a couple of people have finished now. So Touch Me Pope has finished. So Tuttlebur, Tuttlebur, ET has finished. Beaver Time's finished. Winter Place finished, and Christo down at the back of the pack today has finished. I've got to be honest, going by the practice I had before, it's not very often around Silverstone. I don't think I'd be in the top 10 in a qualifying, but I just wouldn't. As Japella does take pole position with a 26.142. I thought we might get treated to a 25, but it's still an outstanding lap. Takes pole position by 2.5 hundredths of a second. Have we got anybody left? I don't think so. The checkered flags are out. We're just waiting for people that are coming into the pits just to actually park up. But I mean, the top 7 are all in the 26s. Is extremely impressive. There's no doubt about that. Anything sub 27 is brilliant around Silverstone in qualifying. Anything close to 27 is still very good, and the sort of mid to high 27s are the sort of, it's ridiculous to say really, middle of the road guys. There's a lot of leagues out there that actually are mid to high 27 would have you pretty high up the rankings. So you know it's difficult, but there we have it. So just to confirm, Japella goes across the line, 26.142 to take the pole position. Sam 29M P2 with Touch Me Pope in third. Tuttlebur in fourth, and ET is the top man from Wheelspin Racing in P5. Jones Gang 6, Panju 7, Drip Mindset P8, it's Beaver Time, and Winter Place then fills up the top 10. Free tyre choice though for Silver Eagle, T-Reds, Idle North, Fentos, Ghost Rider and Christo. Could mean that they do come into play a bit later on in the race perhaps. Be interesting to see what they choose to start the race on. Obviously our safety car is going to play any part in this race. They usually do in league races, but we'll see. I don't know if we're taking a break or whether we go straight in. Just in case we go straight in, I'm just going to grab a drink a second. So, back with you. It looks like we are taking a little break. Normally it's a 5-minute break, so there's still a few of you out there. Thank you again, everybody, for joining. Again, if you want to make the odd comment, I keep my eye on it and I'll always try and respond. Just on the timer's come up now. So just on a personal point, this is the first of what's going to be quite a lot of streams coming up that I'll be doing comms for in the near future. So please do give me a follow and make it so you get notified when I go live. My next one is Sunday at 8 p. Oh, sorry. Yes, Sunday at 8 p.m. That is correct. Usually it'd be wheel spin racing Sunday at 6, but I don't believe they're racing on they're taking a week off for Easter, so it'll be the 8 p.m. one as the guys go off on a formation lap. Just seems to be one car left behind a little bit. Was that I think it was Ghost Rider. Oh no, it was Christo. Okay, that's fine, but everybody has got off the line, that's the main thing. I suppose really when you're doing a short qualifying, there's not so much of a need for a break in between, really, is there? Looking around, just take a look at the liveries as well, actually, while we've got a moment. So the DTF1 team going with a sort of red and I think it's black livery. So yeah, it's black, isn't it? So sort of red and black livery, all looking same with the rainbow emblems. As you can see, the wheel spin team's gone with the yellow and I think it's black. It's like I'm just trying to figure out if it's black or blue. Who's that going across the grass? Someone's having a trip. So, as said, I think general pit stop strategy is a soft to medium. Just double checking. There's only 2 guys have opted to start on mediums here, and that's his 14th and 15th, which is Fentos and Ghost Rider. They've both opted to start on the mediums. Everybody else going for the softs. Looking for that extra grip with the full fuel tank. So pretty understandable. Just for the start of the race, just gonna give you a full screen, hopefully, as we have 5 lights and they are off. So Silverstone is underway in this league versus league race. See, dominant start from DTF1, sorry. But ET has managed to get up and get into P4. Everybody away safely. Nobody's had a spin at the early point. As Winter Place gets ahead of Tuttlebur, but back up the inside comes Tuttlebur, and it'll be a drag to Cops. Are they going to go side by side at Cops? No. No. Perhaps maybe not with a full tank on lap 1. As Andrew looking like he's trying to give his teammate a hand. Doesn't get out of Cops too well. I think Winter Place just found himself a bit too close, and that's enabled Tuttlebur to get back past. have had Drip Mindset unfortunately dropped to the back, but he's just made a place back up and got on ahead of Fentos. So at the moment, go on board. That's Jones' gang trying to get up the inside and any outside of Winter Place. A tiny little touch on the rear left of Winter Place, but not much there. As Christo gets ahead of Reds. A pack of wheelspin racing cars. Maybe there's a strategy in mind. Maybe they're going to work together somehow. As Fentos once again gets back ahead of Drip Mindset. Well, they're both in the pits actually. So if we look at this, both have opted to go to the hard tyres to try and get to the end. Which is a strategy I've employed once around Silverstone at this early stage. I can tell you that come the last 3 or 4 laps, those hard tyres will be horrible. But it does work because it is a long pit stop. So it can actually work doing that. The problem is now, of course, you're a pit stop behind. You've got to catch up more than a pit stop back to the car ahead, because you've taken some wing damage as well. So maybe since for a set of softs or something like that might have been a better option on this occasion. I don't know, Grandad Bot. It's I'm not aware that anything's planned. I've mentioned to both about the possibility of league versus league, but neither have actually ever sort of said yes. So as Touch Me Pope seems to have lost connection and is ghosting. That's one of DTF1's quickest drivers. They're fairly all quick going by their qualifying times, but they won't want to lose Touch Me Pope. So as ET then will spin back up into P3. Not back up, it is up into P3. So Tutterburn now goes past. And now Winter Place will be on the back of Touch Me Pope as he seems to come back and gain connection somewhat. I don't know if that was some sort of plan thing. So at the moment, let's just have a quick look at the obviously no penalties, we can see that. First penalty is picked up, unfortunately it's a 3-second time penalty for T-Reds. As Sam 29 goes quickest with 29.5 at the moment. I'm sure that time will come down somewhat before the end of the race as the fuel loads get a bit lighter. Position changes at the moment. The biggest gainer is Christo, who's come from the back of the grid up to P10. Biggest dropper at the moment is Drip Mindset, who's one of the guys who had to pit at the start, so no real surprise there. The other big gainers are Panju at 3 places, and a few people made up 2 as well. So next bag at the start of the race. Still on board with Winter Place, so unfortunately he's now got Touch Me Pope ahead of him, who seems to have got their connection back. And also has DRS, so we'll be able to make a move here, Winter Place. Touch Me Pope is right on the verge of losing that DRS gap. Oh, Winter Place does have a look at the inside. Decides better of it in the end. He's just slightly too far back to actually make the move. So on this occasion opts out and will pick a better spot at a later point. What it has done though is it's just made Touch Me Pope lose a little bit of time to the car in front. Just dropped out of the 1 second. I believe he didn't quite get that back before this DRS zone, so yeah, Touch Me Pope doesn't have DRS. Once Place gets up onto the back of him. So we can do now is all about staying as close as possible through Cops, then Maggots and Becketts, and onto the sort of main DRS straight. Just runs a bit wide. It's just going to cost him a little bit. All Maggots and Becketts now. But Touch Me Pope's close that gap up. Feels like there might be a little bit of teammate sort of play going on here. Wins Place does still keep the battle actually going on for P3 between Panju and ET. Oh, please, better angle than that, please. Oh, let me hurry up. In the end, Panju heads wide, but in the end does keep the place. And we've lost Touch Me Pope. Is that going to cause a safety car? I think it's double waved yellows at the moment. I think he's lost it on the final corner. He's caught the final corner and has gone over the curb on the final corner. Has gone into the pit wall. So Touch Me Pope is out of the race. It doesn't look like it's causing a safety car just yet. No, the yellows now just in sector 1. Panju as well. So he had a moment, he'd run by, but he got the move done on ET. But clearly something's happened. And he's dropped down to P13, so that's really mixed the race up a lot now. That's Touch Me Pope's AI. He is retired from the race, so I think the AI is just finding a better spot to, or a good spot to drive the car safely into. That's not giving us a safety car. Changes now. Idle North taking sort of lead of this pack. Full spin drivers. So when we're going to see pit stops, it's usually anywhere between lap 9 and 12 if you're on softs at the start. Mediums probably around 15 to 16, I would assume. So a couple of laps we might begin seeing soft guys come in. Reds has decided to come in now though. So his is the... Oh, looks like he did have a new wing put on, so that's not an actual scheduled pit stop. So he's opted for the hards. It shouldn't be a bad strategy at all. Obviously if a safety car comes out, anybody who's nipped onto the softs now, hards now, if a safety car comes out, they're going to get off them pretty sharpish, I should have thought. So let's just have a look what battles we've got going on at the moment. Christo on the back of its Beaver time. This is one of the probably the main battle at the moment, because it's actually between, you know, it's not between teammates, it's between opposing teams. So it's just struggling, Christo, to actually stay within the 1 second. Has 7:29. Picks up the fastest lap with a 29.481. Still think that'll come down somewhat by the end of the race. Hey Mark, glad you can make it, buddy. I hope you got the... Well, I tagged everybody in the Discord, so I hope you saw it in the end. I know you like to have something to watch, mate. We were here watching a team versus league versus league race between Wheelspin Racing and DTF1. DTF1 being the cars in the black, and red, and we'll spin in the yellow and black. Possibly blue. I think it's black. Still, unfortunately, has fallen away. Silver Eagle's on the back of Chris, though, but not looking like particularly wanting to make any sort of move at the moment. Christo's lights flashing, suggesting he's out of energy, which he is. So maybe time for Silver Eagle to go past, really, and he is going to make that move now. So ideally, his teammates. It may be an agreed thing, so Sam goes quicker again on the 29-1. We're definitely going into the 28s for that fastest lap before the end of the race. We do have a first scheduled pit stop. Jones Gang 7 is in. So he's going on to a set of mediums at really the earliest time you could do that. Legitimately. Might struggle a tiny bit towards the end of the race. There's no safety cars. So I assume now, look, it's Eagle's turn now to sort of take the lead, let others pick up the DRS, move them along a little bit. Bit bored at work, Mark. Never mind, mate. How can you work so late in the day? It's not any closer. We're struggling a little bit for battles at the moment. Winter Place is catching up at the moment to the back of Tuttlebert, as Japella is into the pits. So that's going to be the... Oh, and so is Tuttlebert and Winter Place, actually. So both opting to pit now to go on. What must be a set of mediums. It's bound to be. So yeah, Japella onto mediums. It's the usual Silverstone strategy, to be fair. Start on softs, go to mediums. Yeah, as predicted, all of them going to mediums. Panju somehow has only got 8 lap. Oh, it's just changed to 9 lap old softs. Presumably it's going to do the same. I think this is the problem now for the guys that had to switch to hards to try and take it to the end of the race. They've not managed to make up enough time. Really, I mean, Grip Mindset's just gotten ahead of Panju, but those as Reds, don't think Ventos is quite going to make it. No, he's not. So, you know, it's just the case now that these guys on fresh mediums are going to be lightning quick to the guy compared to the guys on hards. So, tire-wise, in a way, just go back to Ghost Rider, who's just caught up a bit to Beaver time. So what's interesting now, ET comes into the pits from second place. I'm just going to switch the gaps to leader. So the top driver that has pitted is Japella, as we've got a yellow in sector 2. It's one of the Wheelspin racing cars. I think it's Reds. It is. Yeah. At the usual place it cops. It's where you see most incidents, and going by how he's struggling to get between the lines. I'd say he's got damage as well. So, sorry, where did ET come out then? So ET's come out about 8 seconds back from Japella, so I think actually staying on those softs actually caught them a little bit of time up. Japella and Sam were both sort of quite far out ahead, so it looks like actually maybe picking up another lap or two on the softs than you might have expected on your initial strategy choice. might be the way to go. Oh, nice. It worked till 2 AM. Nice. Well, as it stands right now, we've got DFT, followed by wheel spin, followed by DFT, followed by wheel spin, followed by DFT, followed by wheel spin, DFT, wheel spin, and then it changes. A few pit stops still to happen. Ghost Rider running in P4, by the way, actually started on the mediums, so he's in a genuine P4 at the moment. Will have to pit, obviously, presumably to a set of softs, and may find himself pretty quick in the later stages of the race. At the moment, it's been a relatively non-eventful race, to be honest. T-Reds has in the end retired from the race, so that's one driver from each team. The only sort of surprising parts, I suppose, we're losing Touch Me Poke and T-Reds. That's the only things that's really happened. We've not seen a huge amount of overtaking going on. But it's been an interesting race for certain. And Silver Eagle now then on Tusselberg, both on fresh mediums. Tusselberg's just done one extra lap to Silver Eagle. Still having to lift quite a lot, aren't they, going through cops. Down to 5th through that one. As the pit stops are starting to happen again at the front, so Idle North now into the pits, and it's Beaver time into the pits as well to pick up their mediums. So they would have done 12 laps on softs and only 14 on mediums, but it did seem like the softs were holding on well enough. Both obviously dropping down the field. They're both going to get out ahead of Crystal, I think. Just coming around now. There's Idle North right now. So Beaver doesn't get out ahead of Christo, but Idle North does. So that's good for wheel spin. Just looking, we've got two battles pretty close. Jones Gang and Silver Eagle both close to the cars directly in front of them. As Christo goes ahead of Idle North. Further down, they may have just been swapping of places, while Idle North's tyres will be gaining heat at the moment. So, as Jones Gang picks up a penalty, a few more penalties out there at the moment. We'll take a look at those a bit later in the race. Obviously, plenty of time still to pick them up. Pick up penalties for now. So. As it stands, still the same two drivers that are close to the ones in front. It's Beaver Time's gotten close to Idle North as well. We've got a train of 3, I think, just because not really getting anywhere here. Let's go on board with its Beaver Time. So, Drip Mindset picks up 3 seconds. He's one of the ones that had to switch to hards early. Idle North and Beaver Time both came in the pits at the same time, so they've got the exact same tyres going on. So this is a genuine race. It could end up being a race to the end. I think Idle North might have liked Christo to have just stayed within the 1 second, so he could have picked up DRS as well to help him in his defence against Beaver Time. Oh, and Idle North did just have a little look back, but the move is done then. It's Beaver Time. Just go on forward of Idle North. Comes back down. Beaver time, unfortunately, is within the 1 second of Christo, so it's not going to be an easy take back for Idle North. Forward, so it's Beaver time, then gets ahead of Christo as Ghost Rider picks up a 3 seconds. So now Beaver time's gone both of them. Silver Eagle is on the back of Tuttlebert. So, result-wise, it's pretty close at the moment. Obviously, the front two being... Yeah, I think probably because the front two are the DTF1, I would think that means that they are leading this race technically. But at the moment, there's 5 of each team in the top 10, so it's been... Obviously, DTF1 did sort of dominate really the qualifying, but the races are offered up a bit different. Sam then finally takes his stop, having done 15 laps on soft tyres. He's 6 set of mediums on. Is Japella going to get past him? It's going to be pretty tight. Yeah, Japella's going to go past. Actually, if you look at Sam, he's just exiting now. Ghost Rider is just coming round the first corner. So he's going to get out in front of Ghost Rider, but only just. Ghost Rider, of course, yet to pit, so really, Sam was looking to get out ahead of ET there. Sam's going to have the best tyres to the end. Front runners. Really got a lot of action out of those softs, to be fair. Yeah, very tentative now, but I suppose that's fuel load because of the race, but they weren't like that in qualifying. You should have seen the qualifying times, Mark. It was, well, pole was 26.1, but the top 7, I think it were all in the 26s, and then like the next 5 were only just outside the 26s, so it was very impressive. Japello, who's now leading the race, did a 26.6 on a set of mediums, which is faster than my time trial. It's about the same actually as my time trial time. So, and he's done that in qualifying on a set of mediums. As Ghost Rider has finally pitted off of the mediums and comes in for a nice set of softs. Looks like he's going to come out in P8, so that has really worked for Ghost Rider. Can't remember if he started in P14 or 15, so... well, he's not quite going to come out in P8 then, he has dropped down a little bit further. I forget, it's such a long pit stop here, isn't it? But with a fresh set of softs on. Don't hold him up, Christo. It's going to be a quick boy. Good man. It's going to be best placed to see... Or as it stands right now, he's going to be best placed to see if he can pick up the fastest lap. Just looking down, Winter Place has really got onto the back of Jones' gang now. Yeah, I know, Mark. Seriously, it was like watching seven TTM Vels. It was like ridiculous. Yeah, the qualifying was insane, to be honest. But I think the results here are showing, you know, the way that Will Spin got themselves up into 3rd and 5th and 7th and all that. It really shows how it's a big difference between qualifying and race. Qualifying pace and race pace, because they've done really well to get up there and put some sort of challenge in. Could have been pretty daunting seeing those qualifying times going in. I think ET was the only one of the wheel spin racers that got into the 26s. I think he did a 26.7. Now, can Winter, it's all about staying, you've got to stay close through Cops and then Maggots and Beckett's, but we all know what it's like. We've all been here and done it. You don't get the same downforce going through Maggots and Beckett's, which is where you can just lose the time and your overtake just disappears. But with the red light flashing on Jones Gang's car in front, you can have enough tarmac. He is, and he does get the move done before the corner. So Winter Place up into P4 once more, and he's got a lot more energy than Jones, so he might be able to try and eke out a little lead if he can. Panji's gotten up onto the back of Christo, so we'll just move to that one a second. Let's go to the broadcast camp. As you can see, Christo's also flashing red. So this time around the outside, and the move is completed the opposite way around the outside on this occasion. So Panju up into P12. Yeah, so we got treated to a couple of good overtakes there. That was nice to see. Silver Eagle on the back of Tuttlebur, so we could end up with another one. Yeah, it is good clean racing, mate. It is nice to watch. It's what you get with the league versus league in that. You do get this sort of racing, because it tends to be... It's not always the fastest drivers from each league that end up in the teams. It can be the best racers, like wheel-to-wheel racers, the clean ones and that. So yeah, you do tend to get very good racing in these sorts of competitions. As Jones Gang gets the position back from Winter Place. Yeah, Winter Place won't be letting that go. He hasn't used too much of that ERS that he had to try and defend that, so he's still got the advantage in that department. Now, we've got a little train happening from Jones Gang in P4 to Silver Eagle in P7. 4 of them. Look how close the 3 are in front at the moment. And obviously the main person who's at risk here would be Jones Gang. He's the only one that's not going to have the DRS, so he's got a train of them behind. So let's just move at the moment to Winter Place. I don't think he's going to have enough tarmac on this occasion. He doesn't use any energy trying to force it either. As Tuttlebur gets close, is he going to have a look on the inside? He does have a look, but he's too far back and rightly backs out of the move. Not risking his front wing there. If Winter Place had come across and taken his wing, the fault would have lied with Tuttlebur, so doing the correct thing and just pulling out of that one. Silver Eagle. Oh, Silver Eagle's gone off at turn 1. And he's got now Beaver Time flying up onto the back of him. He's picked up damage as well. As he He seems to be all intact, but of course his tyres, he's been through the gravel, his tyres are going to be lightning hot. It's going to take a few corners really. Let's get the temperature back down. So it looks like he's starting to get full control back now. Where are we then? Just about on the back of Windsor Place now, so this place just looks like he's fallen back a little bit from Jones' gang. But just seems to have gotten back forward again, so he's got a bit closer again now. Ghost Rider gets ahead of Idle North a bit further down to move into the top 10, and he's now going to be chasing. He's got 5 laps to chase down Drip's mindset. That is going to be a 4-lap old softs against 19-lap old hards. Gotta say, Drips has done a fantastic job after having to pit first lap for a new wing, sticking on a set of hards to go to the end. Has done a very, very good job to be running P9 at this stage. See what sort of pace Ghost Rider can put in, see if he can catch him in the 5 laps. So he's basically got to catch a second lap, just over. Christo moves ahead of Panju. So Windsor Place this time. He's going to go for the outside on this occasion. That's out, but he should get a better run. No, too far back, but still a few laps left, 4 laps left to get this done. And as you can see with the flashing light on the back of Jones Gang's car, he doesn't. It's clearly Windsor Place has got the energy advantage, which he's happy to keep hold of. He's also had to defend himself from Scuttlebert. Got to all about sticking out the inside there. I wonder if a little move like that might be more aimed at helping protect his teammate in front on the obvious attack that was going to come under DRS. And at the moment, we've got Chapella still. Sorry to the 2 front guys, they've not got much airtime because, to be fair, because they've been well out in front themselves and not battling each other. So the battles we have had during the race have been sort of the lower end of the top 10 runners, really. Well, this of course is for P4s, which by no means the lower end of the top 10s, but oh, and Windsor Place just picks up a penalty on the exit. That's going to hurt him slightly, but I think now maybe we're on to 3 laps remaining. Might be the time. Let's have a look then. So as it stands, yeah, that was Windsor Place's first penalty, so he was penalty free, and that affects everything for him. He now has to get the move done to take that position. There's some big penalties a bit further down. There's Tuttlebert is on 11 seconds, but he's got a 13-second gap to the car behind, so he's actually fine with what he's on. Other than that, Idle North's on 12 seconds and Christo's on 12 seconds. Panju is on 9. Everybody else has got 8 seconds for Ghost Rider as well. So I don't think penalty is going to actually affect the final positions too much, to be honest. Just come off that. Here's Ventos is the only one that's done 2 stops. Again, he had to stop right at the start of the race on the first lap. So that's obviously the reason for that. And it's getting a bit frustrating, I think, for Winter Place now. As Jones Gang picks up 3 seconds, so that now gives Winter Place and Tuttleborough the advantage over Jones Gang. But Tuttleborough does get that move done. It's a fine bit of racing. Probably the tightest part of the circuit. Brilliant, brilliant racing. Didn't notice any contact throughout that battle. Tuttleborough potentially could try and help his teammate here, but I don't think there's any real need to. He could look to take that position. I don't think his teammates really got the pace to get 3 seconds out in front in a way, so it's just sorry, going back to do penalties. So as it stands right now, only 2 of the drivers that are left, which is Sam and Beaver Time, are the only 2 completely penalty free. Quite a few, what is it? Yeah, there is a few on 4 drivers that are just under 3 seconds. Christo picks up a further 3, bringing them up to 15. So, as I say, I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of changes due to the penalties because the gaps are sufficient enough generally. There is a yellow in sector 1. That was Fentos. He'd had a moment. He does find himself a lap down. Stands. We've also got a yellow in sector 3, and that is Panju is out of the race. So Panju is out of the race, which will allow Fentus up to P13, because he will pass him before finishing the lap, finishing the race. Go to Capello now and just see him and Samin. Had fantastic races, the pair of them. Dominated at the front. They really have. So Capello through the final stadium part of the track one last time, crosses the line and wins the Silverstone Grand Prix. No, doesn't, in fact. The penalty promotes Sam to P1 to win the Silverstone Grand Prix. Capello then P2. ET is going to come through in P3. His penalty won't affect him. The driver behind has 11 seconds, so ET takes the final podium position. Tuttleborough crosses in P4 but is quickly demoted down. Winter Place then will take P4 in the end. Jones Gang P5, Tuttleborough P6. It's Beaver Time penalty free, so he picks up P7. Silver Eagle in P8. Drip Mindset comes over for actually a fantastic P9. That's a very impressive P9 from Drip Mindset. Going to pit to those hards. Ghost Rider P10. And I think Christo was P11. I didn't see after that. So driver of the day goes to Winter Place after picking up that P4. Yeah, I mean he did a great job, no doubt about it. So we get a little dance from the winner. Celebrates on the steps. British winner at the British Grand Prix. It's great to see. Celebrate. Yeah, just to fill out the rest of the order. Idle Norfolk took P11, Christo P12, and Fentos, as I say, did pick up P13. So driver of the day was given to Winter Place, who started 10th on the grid and got up to P4. So extremely impressive drive. I also thought Drip Mindset did a great job moving to. He had no choice but to move to the hards and go to the end, and he did really well to hold on to a top 10 spot. So fair play to him. Obviously, fair play to our two winners. It's sorry, our top two, Sam and Japella, that had incredibly impressive races, and ET as well, from P5 to P3. Shame for the couple of drivers we lost, Reds and Touchby Pope. We lost both of those. But other than that, a very, very good, clean race throughout, and some good overtakes, great strategy calls as well, and just a brilliant racing. Really, it was an honour, a privilege to commentate on it, and really pleased with that. So yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I'm not sure, Mark, because when he took the position, he didn't have 11 seconds at that point. He picked up 8 seconds really quickly at the end. So he's picked up a 3 for corner cutting, obviously, and a 5 second for something. But I hadn't even noticed that until he was about to cross the line. But anyway, yeah. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Please, if you can, if you don't mind, if you could give me a follow, if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate that. And obviously, be notified. I will be doing a lot of races now via my own Twitch account. I'll be doing some through league Twitches as well. In total, I'll be commentating 6 to 7 times a week, I expect. So, yeah. Yeah, thanks to everybody who's watched. Thanks to everybody who does watch it at a later point and watches it back as well. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. As I say, it was a privilege to do, and I hope we'll get to do it again in the future.